Joining me now is former FBI Assistant Director, former FBI agent Chris Swecker. He is an attorney in Charlotte, North Carolina. Chris, and joining the conversation all morning long, Fox and Friends First co-host Todd Pyro, also an attorney, and Laffer Tangler Investments Chief Investment Officer and CEO Nancy Tangler. Good to see you all. Chris, based on your experience, would Christopher Wray have had to sign off on this raid, or at least know about it, along with the Attorney General Merrick Garland of the United States?
Without a doubt. The word that comes to mind is unprecedented. This has never happened. I mean, even for minor public officials, if there were a search warrant being executed, say, in a congressman's office, like it happened when I was the head of the FBI's criminal division, you would have to jump through dozens of hoops. Review by FBI lawyers, approval at the director level, review by DOJ attorneys, approval at the Attorney General level, analysis across the board, an affidavit that probably is in the dozens of pages. And this is the type of action that will have to get scrutiny at the highest levels. I will say this, Dagan. I mean, the Justice Department has always been political. The Attorney General is a political appointee. I have never seen, you don't see the FBI getting involved in politics until very recently, over the last couple years. And as I hear from former colleagues and even judges and police chiefs across the country, they're scratching their heads on this one.
Did you hear from former colleagues or even people who still work in the FBI last night after the raid was disclosed?
I've heard from quite a few people.
What were they saying?
Well, it's everything from this country is lost to what's going on at the FBI. And I have a hard time explaining this to them because, even if there was a violation here, it's a de minimis violation. And you would have to be concerned about the optics and the politics involved. And honestly, Dagan, the squeeze is not worth the juice that would come out of it. So to raid a former president's house for a de minimis violation, not treason, not bribery, not corrupt actions on the part of the president, but retention of supposedly classified documents, that you just wouldn't do it. It wouldn't have happened during the 24 years that I was at the FBI.
This is something that Andy McCarthy, our former federal prosecutor, said in relation to the abuses within the FBI with the FISA warrants against Trump campaign official Carter Page. He said, when you abuse the power given to you, to say the FBI and the Justice Department, when you abuse that power, people demand ultimately that power is taken away from you. And that makes the United States less safe. That if you abuse powers used to investigate terrorists and those powers disappear, the United States will open itself up to harm. And that's, again, if this power is abused against President Trump, it opens the floodgates of additional abuses and the FBI not able to protect the United States of America.
Yeah, the FBI needs the cooperation of the American public. They need the credibility. We need the FBI. However, when 50% of the American public, or somewhere in that range, don't trust the FBI, as you say, our national security is weakened. Our criminal law enforcement at that level is weakened, and without all that, the FBI is not the agency we need it to be.
Chris, during your time in the FBI, this is Todd Pyro, by the way, co-host of Fox and Friends First. Great to chat with you as always. During your time in the FBI, how many National Archives raids did you conduct?
None that I can remember. I mean, I recall an instance where we wanted to search a congressman's office up on Capitol Hill and were denied that by the Justice Department. This is a Democratic congressman, Republican Attorney General. We were denied it until they refused to comply with a long negotiation and a grand jury subpoena. And then when we did conduct the search, all of the take from that search had to be put in escrow with a federal judge. We couldn't put our hands on it until they had reviewed it to cull out all the material that had nothing to do with the search warrant that we had executed, even though we were very precise and only took one or two things. So this is extraordinary. It would have to go through many levels of review. And I go back to the de minimis part of this. If this were part of the January 6th review investigation and it involved some concrete evidence of, say, treason, for example, I'm speaking hypothetically, I could almost see it. But this is retention of classified information, allegedly. This is de minimis. And you really have to weigh out that optic of the FBI 30 agents raiding a former president's home. And during my time as head of the criminal division and the cyber division and the number 3 position at the Bureau, I'm pretty sure we would not have approved that at any level.
Chris, would you expect people to resign within the FBI if you're an agent and said, I'm not participating in this?
Yeah, what I've been looking for quite a while now, under Comey and now under the current director, is for them to push back at the Department of Justice when things like this come up, to have the courage to push back and say, nah, we're not doing this. I mean, the reason the FBI director has a 10-year term was intended to remove the FBI from politics. DOJ is a political agency at the top, across the whole strata of their hierarchy at the top levels. We know that. That's always been the case. But the FBI is supposed to be apolitical. And I can honestly say in my 24 years with the Bureau, I never saw a political decision made, at least that I was aware of. And I was at very high levels. So, to go back to your question, Dagan, I really want to see a circumstance or an instance where the FBI has pushed back and said, no, we're not going to be used in this fashion.
Chris Swecker, thank you so much for being here this morning, always. Terrific to see you. We'll see you again very soon, I hope.
Thank you, Dagan.